Hi everyone, this is just a short video to show you some of the baking equipment that I use. First thing, and I think one of the most important in baking, is a set of scales. I use digital because I think they're the most accurate, but as long as you've got scales that's fine. Baking is different to cooking in that the measurements have to be accurate because basically it's a science that's happening when you're making a cake or bread. The next thing is a selection of bowls. This is my main mixing bowl. The other bowls I use are a variety of sizes of glass bowls, either to mix things in or to hold ingredients while I'm waiting to put them into the mix. Again, going back to measuring, I've got a measuring jug for liquids, and then measuring spoons. I have got two sets of spoons. It's useful to have, I find it's useful to have the two sets because often you've measured a teaspoon of something and the spoon's dirty and you need a teaspoon of something else. So I do have two sets of all sizes of those. So for mixing, my favourite piece of equipment is my handheld electric whisk. This just gets the job done a lot quicker, although if you don't have one of those, you can use old-fashioned handheld whisks. I've also got silicone spatulas. These are good for mixing or folding in. I also find them really useful for easily getting the batter or mix out of the bowl. This is an 8-inch cake tin. It's a spring form tin, which is a lot easier for getting the cake out afterwards. I've also got a loaf tin, either if bread needs a tin to go in, that's a good one, or for something like a lemon drizzle. I've also got a muffin, various different size, but this is my favourite muffin tin. Other tins I've got is a flan tin, again with a loose bottom, and one for like a tray bake or a flat or a rectangular shaped cake. So those are the tins. I've got lots of different muffin style cases, tiny ones for like a petit four, different ones for cupcakes. I've also got the silicone ones. These are really good and they're reusable. They are good if you're going to eat the cakes yourself, but I don't use those very often purely for the purpose that I give a lot of cakes away. Cutters, if you're doing cookies, then these are useful. I've got lots of different sizes in there. A rolling pin, if you're making pastry or rolling out cookie dough, that's useful. If you don't have a rolling pin, you could use a bottle. Knife, this I've had a long time and I really like it because it keeps your fingers out of the way, so it's quite safe. Mainly for cutting perhaps lemon zest if you want to make that a bit finer, nuts if you're trying to chop them. I treated myself to this bread cutter. You don't need to have one of those, a normal knife will do. I'm just trying to be a little bit fancy. What haven't I done yet? So always useful to have a brush, either for egg washing or putting oil over something. Another most recent purchase is a sugar thermometer for making caramel or jam. It's essential to have. Obviously they're quite more technical bakes, so it's not essential that you have this for basic baking. Disposable piping bags. I know it's not good for the environment, but it's better for my washing up. If you're piping or icing or making meringues or piping anything, the amount of bags you go through is amazing. So if you had to keep washing them and the stuff gets all stuck on the inside, you can't get it off. So just for cleanliness, I use these and ease. This one is by Wilton. It's a 1M if anyone's interested. It is the best for icing a cupcake in my opinion. It makes really lovely rose shaped icing. This one is again a Wilton and it's a 230. I use this for filling donuts because you can get it quite far into the donut because it's got the long stem on it. For piping meringues, I use this, it's about a 1 centimetre circle end, and then for filling macaroons, meringues, small biscuits, if you're putting biscuits together, this is about 1/2 centimetre, and that's a Wilton 12. Baking tray is essential. You'd probably have one of these anyway. Baking parchment is very useful for a lot of cakes, although I do recommend these baking liners. They are reusable. They do get a bit, the oil tends to stick to them, but not, your food won't stick to them, it will come off clean, which even with oil on a baking tray can make things stick. Final few things. This, I have mentioned in one of my other videos, is a bowl topper. If you're particularly whisking icing sugar, this is the best thing I've found. I used to use a tea towel and that is okay, but I got it caught up in my whisk, which was a little bit dangerous, so I treated myself to this for safety. And a sieve is very useful because a lot of cake mixtures in particular like to have sieved flour. The only other things that I've got left are more technical. I've got a small rolling pin for rolling icing if you're decorating cupcakes. I've got various things for decorating cupcakes with, but I will go into that another time.